Hello and welcome back to the Opening Kickoff, your new favorite show to watch every single week before the NFL week gets started. Make sure you're subscribed so that you never miss an episode every Thursday at noon, and you can be here for our game picks and hot takes and everything. I'm going to go ahead and get into our game picks from last week.
So, I was 8-7 last week. Maddox was 10-5. He already had a 2-game lead, so now he has a 4-game lead. I'm 55-45 total. Maddox is 59-41 total. And
boom!
We'll get into our week picks later, but there's no way I can come back next week because I believe I only had 3 differently.
And I'm going to get all 3 right, and then I'm just going to coast.
So the games I got wrong that you didn't were Saints-Broncos. That was just a shit show.
So you did end up picking the Saints? I knew we couldn't really exactly remember.
If I would have picked them,
because I remember you were like, because I think they have a better chance with Rattler. So you were like, I think I picked the Saints no matter what, or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. You might have picked the Broncos, but who knows?
Vikings-Lions.
Yeah.
That was a good pick by me. I still think y'all beat them more times than they beat y'all if y'all play 10 times.
Oh, no. There's no way. We shouldn't have even been in that game towards the end. We had a fumble 6. Which obviously, still happened. But, dude, they literally got to do whatever they wanted. They were able to run the ball. If they threw it to the middle of the field, it worked every time. There was a receiver open every single play. And I'm not just talking, tight window open. I'm talking wide open. They really got to do whatever they wanted against us. I do think us making it a competitive game, makes me happy and makes me more hopeful for the season. But I think they probably beat us 6 or 7 times out of 10 in that game.
We both got Texans-Packers wrong.
I did say that was going to be a close game. My score prediction, I had them winning by 1 point. But I did still think the Texans were going to win. The Packers impressed me. Jordan Love developing a little bit of a turnover problem. He missed 2 weeks, and I think he's tied for the lead in passing touchdowns, but he's also tied for the lead in interceptions this year so far.
Wow.
But a little bit of a turnover problem, but hey, they won the game. Stephon Diggs started a fight with the whole team before the game started and then got 20 receiving yards, so that was pretty cool.
That is pretty funny. Yeah, that game, the Texans are easily a better team, I think.
I would agree. I think, dude, Josh Jacobs balled out.
Yeah.
That was one of my favorite moves in the offseason, and it's really seeming to work out. I think Jordan Love needs to quit the turnovers a little bit, but I do think, dude, the NFC North, they are 5-2, and they are 3rd in the division. Dude, that division is so
crazy.
hard.
And then Eagles-Giants, we both got wrong. Why? What were you doing?
Well, no, we both picked the Giants, and then I was like, well, they also have A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. I really don't see how the Giants are going to win this game, but I was like, since we both have the Giants, who cares to really pick or to switch? Dude, Saquon. Oh, my goodness, dude.
Neither of us thought, Saquon's going to come with vengeance.
Yeah, I really didn't. I thought, A.J. Brown still had a good game, too. I thought the Eagles were going to win. I just, like I said, there's no point in either of us switching when we both had the same team. And
every time it was shown on Red Zone, it was like, oh, Daniel Jones sacked again.
Dude, I want to check how many sacks they have that game because that shit was insane.
That was crazy. And then Chiefs 49ers.
Yeah, we both got that wrong. That's crazy. Dude,
Again, we both got
the
wrong.
Chiefs team is so good right now that Mahomes gets to play like shit, and it's just fine.
It doesn't matter.
Did you see the formation they ran with Carson Wentz where they snapped the ball to him and he handed it to Kareem Hunt or some weird shit?
No, I didn't see it.
They had Carson Wentz lined up as a running back next to Patrick Mahomes, and they shifted and they snapped it to Carson Wentz, and he ran this way and handed it to Kareem Hunt or something.
That's so sick.
So weird. But I don't know. Mahomes is still getting bailed out in these wins. I don't think Mahomes is bad whatsoever, but he's playing bad. And they're going to get a coast to the playoffs, and then the playoffs is going to happen, and we're going to see Mahomes back in his true form, and Chiefs are just probably going to win another Super Bowl.
If the Chiefs finish 4-7, they still probably make the playoffs.
Yeah, that's 10-7. No team in that division is going 10-7. I don't think.
Which is Mahomes has literally gotten to the point where he's like, fuck records, not fuck records, fuck stats, fuck MVPs.
He just wants to win.
He wants. What's the percent chance do you get the Chiefs going undefeated winning the Super Bowl this year?
Undefeated, very small. I don't think we'll see a team go undefeated for a really long time, if I'm being honest. I think any team can lose any game. Because, if the Chiefs' defense has one bad performance while Mahomes plays like this, they will lose the game. The Chiefs' defense and Spags is kind of, bailing out Patrick Mahomes at the moment.
And they're balling.
They are balling. He has 6 touchdowns to 8 interceptions. You could have never convinced me Mahomes would have had those numbers. To be fair, Marquise Brown and Rashee Rice are both out. Travis Kelce's also washed, but
Taylor Swift ruined Travis Kelce.
But you're still Mahomes. We've seen him with bad receivers before, and he's made it work. So I don't think the bad receivers is the problem.
And you see all these people saying they need to trade for a receiver. They're going to trade. No, they're not.
They're not.
They don't need to.
They really don't need to.
And then Jets Steelers, I got wrong. Aaron Rodgers, come on, you got to step the fuck up. I feel bad for Jets fans.
The Jets they're the Jets. They're always going to be the Jets.
I know, but it's like Aaron Rodgers gave him so much hope.
So we recorded last week before the Davante Adams trade happened, so we really didn't get to talk about how we felt about it before the game. But how I personally felt was that I get what you're trying to do, but when Rodgers is playing below expectations already and you only have 2 wins and your team's already kind of on the older side, I don't think them trading a 3rd-round pick for Davante Adams was worth it. I get the connection you're trying to build. I just don't think it's going to be successful. I don't think it was successful against the Steelers. I think Davante Adams will have some good games, and the Jets will win some games. But at this point, I don't think they're going to make the playoffs. I think it's pretty clear that there's some problems in the coaching group, and there's some problems with Aaron Rodgers. And, I don't think Davante Adams is the solution to any of that.
Pretty well.
And Russ was balling, by the way.
Russ was balling. I was crazy.
We wanted justice for Fields, but clearly Mike Tomlin knew something that we didn't.
That's why he get paid the big bucks. That's why he said, yeah, come on, Jets. They just got to step up. I don't think it was necessarily a dumb decision because this is like your Super Bowl window. In 2 years, they're going to go into a complete rebuild. They're not just going to come.
I don't think so. I think, but they also didn't pick up Fields' 5th year. That's what's so weird. Because
I was talking about the Jets.
100%.
So I get
they may as well start next year.
This is their Super Bowl window. Like, they're like, I think they're saying, like, we're all in already for a Super Bowl this year. Let's go complete all in and maybe give us a better chance, a fighting chance. And then they're just going down with the ship at this rate. So
I think, if I had to guess, I think they finish this year 7 to 8 wins. Rodgers probably retires. Davante Adams probably goes somewhere else. And we see the Jets enter a full rebuild, and they're just going to go back to being the Jets again, which they still are the Jets. Like, they never changed from being the Jets with Rodgers. He's throwing the same amount of interceptions that Zach Wilson was in the offense. It's just and a couple of them aren't even Aaron Rodgers' fault, but he's still not playing up to his expectations. You were supposed to go in and change this franchise, and you're not. So
very well said. And then the games you got wrong that I got right, Browns, Bengals.
Yeah, I kind of think if Deshaun Watson stays in that game, it's closer. Deshaun Watson has played like shit all year, but he was kind of cooking in those first couple drives. It might have only been one. I'm not 100% sure, but he looked better than he had the rest of the games. And just with the history of Joe Burrow in Cleveland, I did really think that the Browns were going to win that game. I was glad to see Nick Chubb back, though. I do think this Deshaun Watson injury is probably best case scenario for the Browns because you weren't going to cut him, you weren't going to bench him, and now you're forced.
You're eating the dead cap either way.
But next time, hey, can we please watch Jameis Winston next time? Nobody wants to watch DTR. I want to watch Jameis Winston, please.
Facts. And then Chargers, Cardinals, you got wrong as well.
Which sucks because I think I said that game and the Bucs game were the two I was most confident about. And, dude, like the Chargers just played like shit.
Write down Bucs.
Ravens. Yeah, we can talk about that one last because that one might get a little sad. The Chargers just did not play good. Like, I mean, I don't think the Cardinals played great, but they played better than the Chargers. I don't think the Chargers scored a single touchdown. I think all their points came from field goals. The Cardinals defense looks slightly better than it has previously.
The Cardinals just have a more competent roster, I think, believe it or not.
I think the Chargers have a more competent roster. I just think...
I don't know, dude. The Chargers have a lot of holes.
It just depends. The Chargers just don't have, like, weapons, in my opinion. I think J.K. Dobbins is going to be their long-term running back, but I think they don't have any passing weapons, which I get they're a running team, but you still need a weapon to throw the ball to.
You have Justin Herbert.
You can't run the ball every play, and Ladd McConkey, I think he's decent. I don't think he's a true wide receiver one on any team in the league.
No, he's a great slot guy.
Quentin Johnson has been decent this year, but again, same thing. Like, he's not. They don't have a receiver that could be a one on any other team. And honestly, I don't think many of them would be the two on many other teams either. They really need a passing threat. Will Dissly was getting all the catches this game, so get Justin Herbert a weapon to throw the ball to.
The Bucs need to trade for Joshua Palmer.
Maybe. Yeah.
That's the guy we could send a fourth for. But yeah, Bucs.
I could probably get him for less than that.
Bucs Ravens. That was rough.
Rest in peace, Chris Godwin and Mike Evans.
Y'all will be able to see. We recorded this next segment where we do our game picks with Matt. We recorded that last night. We were supposed to record the rest of it last night. I wasn't in the mood. Like, still, I'm like so depressed about it right now. That game was in our hands, and then we choked it. Right when Mike Evans got hurt, everything just went downhill. Baker started playing like shit because Baker's used to having the high safety every time. Look at Mike Evans and Chris Godwin's one-on-one every time. And then now Chris Godwin has getting doubled and tripled on certain plays. So, like, that has to get in a quarterback's head. It completely changes game plans, And he rallied well, I think. I think Baker did good after everything. He threw 2 picks. figured his shit out the second half, but our defense sucks. Todd Bowles, I've been on the fuck Todd Bowles train for a while. He had me fooled for a little bit, man. We're a defensive team, and every week our defense looks like shit. Up the middle. Hey, if you're going to play in the Buccaneers, I'll give y'all the hack. Throw it in between the hashes. It'll be wide open every time. And then Chris Godwin sees an injury. Mike Evans going to be out multiple weeks. Probably tore his hamstring, which is rough.
There were a lot of injury this week, by the way. Like, Brandon Ayuk, injured, out for the season. There was another one. Oh, Deshaun Watson, injured, out for the season. Chris Godwin's going to be out for the season. Aiden Hutchinson just got injured, out for the season. Like, damn.
Sucks. And we had a good Super Bowl window this year, which what really sucks.
Yeah.
I really, truly think, healthy team, we're top 3 teams in the NFC.
Yeah, I could.
If not 4.
Top 5. I'll give you top 5.
Guaranteed top 5. I think the only teams I could argue are the Vikings, Lions, and 49ers. Every other team we smack.
No, I don't think y'all smacked the Packers, honestly. After how they played against Houston.
We played them. We crushed them last year. Very true. We killed
that is
the
true.
Packers
Y'all did kill the
year.
Packers, but that's also regular season, and just because you beat a team one time doesn't mean you beat them every time.
I know, but I still think we could beat them. But
I think y'all could. I think y'all could, but I don't think it's a guarantee.
We could beat any
You could
team.
beat any team in the NFC.
Any team in the NFC. And we could have won the Super Bowl. Baker Mayfield, I know you're watching.
Lock in, Baker.
Dude, the city of Tampa needs you right now, Bubba.
All right, and for this week, for the game picks, we have our brother-in-law, Matt, on to give his game picks. He was supposed to be here 2 weeks ago, but there were some technical difficulties that, voided that. But, hey, the Vikings are playing this week, and we're both Vikings fans, so maybe everything happens for a reason, right?
Speaking of the Vikings playing this week, Thursday Night Football, Prime, Vikings-Rams. Who do you got?
I have the Vikings. I'm going to be honest. If we would have played any worse in the Lions game, because for a second it looked bad. When we allowed 21 points in the second quarter, I was getting pissed off. But with the way we finished the game, I think I'm really bought in on this team. I think we're going to win this game by 2 possessions. I think Stafford turns the ball over at least once, and I think we're going to take it pretty easily.
Yep. It took me a little bit to get my hopes up because I really didn't want to, because our team statistically just does not look that good. But I honestly give all credit to coaching this year.
No,
like,
Brian Flores and Kevin O'Connell are so
I feel like
good.
the coaching is just so good that they're making all of this
100%.
just come together, and that's how we're getting all these wins. But I also have the Vikings. I just haven't seen a lot out of the Rams this year, so I have the Vikings winning 35-17.
Yep. Cooper Kupp will be back. I have 31-20 as my final score.
Cooper being back is interesting. I wanted to pick the Rams a little bit because this is like a setup game a little bit, but I went with the Vikings. They're easily the better team.
And to go off what you said, I was telling Zach, I was like, it was almost easier being a fan of the Vikings when we were dog shit, because it was like, oh, we lost, oh well.
Yeah.
Now it's like I'm so invested in the game, like I'm literally screaming at the TV, like
See, now you know what it's like being a Bucs fan,
Yeah.
rooting on a good team every week.
whatever. Next up, I have Ravens at Browns. I think I learned my lesson last week about picking the Browns, even though it's a divisional game, especially with Deshaun Watson out. Which don't get me wrong, Deshaun Watson sucks, but their backup quarterbacks are worse.
We don't wish torn Achilles on anybody.
Boo. Except for Deshaun.
Yeah.
Except for people with 29 sexual
I'm
assault
personally not going to speak on
allegations.
that. However, I have the Ravens taking this game. I do think it'll be kind of like low scoring and ugly, but I do think the Ravens will take it probably by 2 possessions. So.
Real quick, because I know we're in a little bit of a rush before the Monday night game. So did you see? So if Deshaun Watson never plays a snap of football again, the next 2 years he's owed $72 million each year from the Browns, guaranteed.
Jesus.
Should
just get Baker. Literally just keep Baker.
That's
and
the
they're
biggest L of all time.
And it was on my boy. I got the Ravens too. Browns suck.
Yep, I have the Ravens. Browns are not going to do anything.
All right, next up, I have Titans at Lions. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think this is another game where we watch the Lions put up 40 points. I do think the Titans are capable of putting up points. We watched them do it against the Bills, but I think the Lions still win this game by 20 points because they're not going to be able to keep up with that Lions offense. There's no universe where the Titans win this game.
I have Lions 42-7.
Yeah, the Lions.
I have 40-20.
I'm sorry.
There's no way the Titans are stopping Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. Like the Vikings going into yesterday's game, the Vikings had the best run defense in the entire league, and it literally looked like the Lions still got whatever they wanted on run.
Very true.
In the run game.
I don't think it's gonna be a blowout. As much y'all say, it's not gonna be a 30-point blowout. It's gonna be like a 10 to 20-point blowout.
I have 20 points.
Because I could see it being like 20-10 final score because the Lions are just chewing clock all game, trying to get their.
I mean, think about the Cowboys game. They They
I
ran
think
them
that was
into
a
the dirt.
statement, though. This
But
one, they're just trying
my
to
thing
get
with the
win one.
Lions is they have the best run game in the NFL, and they have arguably the best pass game in the NFL. What has Jared Goff thrown 5 incompletions in the last 2 weeks? Like, watching the Vikings game, they were able to throw to the middle of the field every single play. There's always somebody wide open, and then on top of that, you have David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. So then the play action works. Like, I don't really see how this offense is going to get stopped in any way. I think they put up at least 40 points,
It's
honestly.
gonna be. I mean, Jared Goff's.
I can't lie.
better
The
than I said
Lions,
he was.
the Lions might
that's
be.
so fun-
They might be
that's
the
so
best team in
funny.
the league. Like,
I'm glad
I'll
that
take it. Call them the best team in the league, baby. We beat them.
next up, I have Colts at Texans. I think this will be somewhat of a game, but I do think the Texans take it. I have the final score 30-21. The Colts just have not looked as good as I thought they were going to be going into this season. I do think Colts-Texans is always a good game, so I think that Colts will put up points, but the Texans are going to take this one. It'll be kind of high scoring in my opinion.
Yeah, I also have the Texans. Yeah, I think this whole flipping back and forth between AR and Joe Flacco is really putting a toll on them as far as like team chemistry wise. Like they just can't build it. So I have the Texans. I think they're just the Texans are so solid.
Yeah, they have so many weapons, and I think they lead the league in pressures as of right now.
Mhm.
Anthony Richardson already struggling with that D-line coming at you. Like, I don't really see a world where he's successful this week.
I agree. AR is kind of trash. I think the Colts are the worst 3-win team in the NFL. There's a bunch of 2-win teams that would smack them.
They barely beat the Dolphins with Tyler Huntley and Tim Boyle. Like,
Yeah.
that is embarrassing. Like, insanely embarrassing.
With your 5th-round pick quarterback.
Yeah.
Next up, Packers at Jaguars. I do think the Jaguars make this one a game. I think they've made almost every game a game this year. I do think the Packers will end up taking it. The Jags are kind of due for a win, even though they won in London. That was against the Patriots. The Packers just are coming off a win against the Texans, which are one of the best teams in the NFL. I don't really see a world where they slip up and lose to the Jags. So I do think the Packers take this probably by like a touchdown.
Okay. So going to the Jags, I actually loved the way the Jags offense looked this week.
Feed
versus,
the ball
like,
to Brian Thomas
versus,
Jr.
Versus
and
the Patriots.
Tank
like,
Bigsby is the best running back on that team.
I really do think like they looked really
Etienne's
good.
looked really
If they
bad.
can play that way, it will be a close game. I have Packers 28-24.
You know me. I pick the Jaguars all the time.
I thought you were about to pick them again.
I picked them again.
You literally said last week that you were done picking the Jags. You said I'm done picking the Jags.
Never will be
I won't
done.
lie though.
This is
This
a
is
good
the
game.
one time I could see them really winning,
Yeah,
honestly.
Yeah.
this
But
is a good game.
You said you learned your lesson.
against the Patriots,
I don't
they ran
hate
the
it.
ball 20 plays in a row at the end of that game.
That's
I don't
awesome.
hate it.
Dude, Tank Bigsby is the best running back on that team.
I picked him up in fantasy.
Put ETN on the second back. Tank Bigsby is him. Next up, I have Cardinals at Dolphins. Tua is supposed to be back this game. Also, little side note. Did you see the video of them asking him if he was going to wear the crown?
Yeah.
And he said no, and then they asked him why, and he said personal choice. The reason he's saying personal choice is because there's no valid reason to not wear it. You're not cool. You're not him. Put on the fucking crown. You brain damage. Anyways,
Yeah.
I have the Dolphins winning this game if Tua plays. I have them winning 27-20.
exactly how I have it. So both of us, if the Dolphins are out, clearly Cardinals win.
Yeah. If Tua plays, I think the Dolphins will take this. The Cardinals' defense is ass, and when Tua is in the offense, it's okay. I'm not going to say it's great. Like last year, they were great. This year, I don't really see it, but they're better than the Cardinals, in my opinion. I think they'll take it by a touchdown if Tua plays.
I actually have the Cardinals winning.
I like it.
I have the Cardinals
This guy
winning.
picks the Cardinals every week.
I
so.
I do pick the Cardinals every week.
I mean, I don't blame you. I honestly went into this season expecting whenever like seeing Kyler Murray back, seeing Marvin Harrison Jr., like all that stuff, like and
James Conner's a
James
great running
Conner's
back.
a great running back.
Yeah, we're good.
And I think like I like the team.
What do you think of their coach, Rich Gannon?
He's okay. He's not my favorite.
He's like, I'm gonna see that
He's-
video of him talking to Kyler, and Kyler's
he's-
like, "What are you
he
doing?"
is ass,
he's
bro.
not my. He's
ass.
definitely not my favorite.
And
There's-
he's a defensive minded coach, which I get, but I don't even know who their OC is, if I'm being completely honest with you. Whoever he is sucks ass. Like,
Yeah.
get Marvin Harrison involved
Yeah.
early.
And what's
James
crazy
Conner
is
might be
he
the most
won't
underrated.
get fired because of how good Kyler Murray is.
Mhm.
No, I think he will, because even these last weeks, the Cardinals offense hasn't looked good, even
But
with
Kyler
Kyler
just
Murray.
looks so good.
Watch,
matter what.
tonight they're going to look like shit. They're not going to be able to move the ball.
Well, it's also against Jim Harbaugh, who's just a goat. But let's go ahead and get into the
Next
game.
up, Jets at Patriots. I could see the Jets slipping up and losing this game. They were not in position to trade for a third rounder for Devontae Adams. You have 2 wins.
And it's a conventional second rounder, but at this rate, it's looking like a third
It
rounder.
won't be a
'cause they
second
won't
rounder.
make the playoffs,
Don't they have to? Doesn't he have to play in the AFC Championship or the Super Bowl for it to be a second rounder?
I
It's
didn't see
something
that.
along those
Something like
terms.
that.
But I do have the Jets winning. Do not be surprised if the Patriots take this. The Jets are ass. Aaron
And Drake
Rodgers-
May,
I don't know.
he looked good against the Jaguars. He looked really good.
But first off, he didn't look good enough to win, and second off, the Jags have allowed the most
But the
touchdowns in the
Patriots
league.
probably have the most incompetent roster.
He does.
No,
that,
sorry, the
that like
Panthers.
second to last drive where he made it a game while they were down 15. He was throwing some really good balls. So I do see a world where the Patriots win this, but the Jets defense is worlds better than the Jaguars. So I do think the Jets will end up taking it. But Rodgers, you're washed. Just retire already.
Yeah, I also have the Jets, but it's definitely going to be. This is probably going to be one of those games where it's like one of those boring games that you're like, why am
We
I
will
watching
see
this?
2 clips on Red Zone.
I slept through
why
Jets
am I
Patriots
watching
last
this?
week or last time they played. So I'll probably sleep through it
Yeah,
again.
I got the Jets as well. Come on, they got to start picking it up. Like, they're 2-5.
Can we agree that trading for Devontae Adams right now was not the right play?
Yeah.
I get it, but can we talk about how it's
If
dumb?
they win last week and they're 3-4 instead of 2-5,
I don't think it matters.
Last
they can
year,
go on the trajectory
last
to
year,
the playoffs.
whenever Zach Wilson came in and played 7 games, they were 4
You know,
and 3.
Aaron
And
Rodgers.
Wow,
this
that's
year,
crazy.
playing 7 games, they're 2
You
and
know
5.
Aaron
So
Rodgers.
Zach Wilson.
No,
Is
you know-
I'm a
better than
Zach
Aaron
Wilson defender.
Rodgers.
I'm not.
I'm just kidding.
However, did you know Aaron Rodgers already this season has the same amount of interceptions as Zach Wilson did both of his years as a starting quarterback?
That's crazy.
He had
And-
7 both of his years as a
and
starter.
Aaron Rodgers
has
has
7
more
right now.
picks this year than he did in a 4-year span of the Packers.
Yeah, no, it's
Insane.
Aaron Rodgers is washed, but they are going to take this game. Next up, I have Falcons at Bucks. I think it's going to be another shootout.
It's gonna be a great game.
I think the Bucks are able to put up points even against good defenses, and I think the Bucks defense sucks, so the Falcons are going to be able to put up points. But I have the Bucks taking it by a field goal, 30-27. I think it'll be another shootout, and I think the Bucks barely take this one.
Yep. I have Bucks revenge game.
You know, I just realized last time we were here, we all picked the Bucks.
Yep.
And it did not turn out well. So Matt picked the Falcons. Real quick.
I have the Bucks. I really do. I don't think
I think we should have won that last game.
y'all should have. I mean, dude,
We
I'm
lost
never
it,
doubting
they didn't
Kirk
win it.
Cousins in a clutch game-winning drive. I'm never doubting Kirk Cousins.
Yeah, but if Kirk's down by 10, dude, y'all are fucked. Kirk.
I mean, he was probably down by 10 last time y'all played.
No, I don't think
He looked really bad against
He
Seahawks.
looked
though.
really bad.
Yeah.
Like that one play where he's rolling out like Kirk, you're 40 years old.
But
You
here's
don't-
my
you
thing
can't
is,
get that
my
out.
thing is though,
Take the sack.
my thing
dude.
is every quarterback has games where they look like shit. Like
True.
I'm not gonna
Yeah.
hold that against him. I think he's gonna play good in this game, but I don't think he's gonna play
Well,
good
our
enough.
defense is so bad.
No, so it's easy to play good against y'all.
But
hey,
I got the
you definitely
Buccaneers
have the
too.
Bucks.
So wait, so this week, so we're above the Falcons right now. So if we lose against the Ravens, which we're not going to, we're gonna beat them. But if we lose, we are even with the Falcons, but they beat us, so we're below. So if we beat them next week, we're above them. But if we win this week, it really helps going into next week. So this win tonight is crucial, baby. Let's go, Eagles, Bengals.
Eagles, Bengals. This is a very interesting game. I could really see it going either way. I do think the Bengals are going to take it. I think the Eagles, I mean, Saquon Barkley was feasting against the Giants. I think he will once again against the Bengals, but the Bengals actually have an offense that's capable of scoring points. The Eagles' defense isn't anything too special to me. Dude, the Eagles had like 8 sacks that game. I was watching Red Zone. Every time
bad.
they showed the game, Daniel Jones was getting sacked.
bad.
But I do think the Bengals take it. Their offense is better.
Yep.
Their defense is worse, but I think their offense is just going to be able to put up more points than Jalen Hurts is able to.
Literally nothing to say except Bengals are taking it. I don't know. The Eagles defense has really been letting me down with how skilled they are. Like in some areas, I think they aren't playing as good, and I don't know what happened. I don't like. Did they get a new DC?
I have no clue, honestly.
I don't know, but it's like something just looks off to where I don't think their defensive play calling
Is it Matt
They
Canada?
lost a lot of talent.
Isn't Matt Canada a coach for the Eagles somewhere?
have
I
no
don't know if
clue.
he's their DC. I think he's up there, though.
Yeah,
in
I don't know.
Philadelphia.
But I think Bengals take this one. I think the Bengals are on a
See,
streak
now
right
that you're
now.
picking
and-
Bengals, I want to pick the Eagles. I'm going to stick true. I picked the Bengals. I was hoping you'd pick the Eagles. But, of course, the only reason why the Bengals are enticing is because they're picking it up now. Like, the Bengals are on their
Yeah.
usual
They're-
playoff.
I will say their win against the Browns really didn't impress me.
No. But
Yeah,
the
it really
Browns are
didn't.
really good defense, and the Browns own the Bengals history.
The Browns are a really good
The
defense
Browns
on paper,
own Joe Burrow, sorry.
but the Browns haven't. But I think if Deshaun Watson plays the rest of that game, the Browns take it.
Okay, hold on. Deshaun Watson had one good drive all season, and then he got
I know, but
But you think the one good drive, that one good drive, was that one good drive, if they score, do they win?
No, because think about it. The Bengals in like the first quarter, close to almost the entire first half, the only touchdown they had was the opening kickoff return they got for a touchdown.
Which is sick.
And I know Deshaun Watson was only one drive, but I just think with the history of Joe Burrow in Cleveland and everything like that and the way they were playing, I do think And I also think if they put in Jameis, they would have had a better chance to win that game. I don't know why
sure.
DTR got put in instead. But
It
I'm
was
sure.
that day. It was a game time decision to put DTR as second string.
Next up, I have Saints at Chargers. I think the Chargers are going to easily take this one. I'm not sure if Rattler or Carr is playing as of now. However, I really don't think it's going to matter.
It'll make no difference.
It really won't matter. The
Harbaugh's
Chargers,
gonna feast on them.
I really think the Chargers are one of the better teams in the league. Like J.K. Dobbins
Yeah.
is having a crazy season this year. I love getting to watch him fully healthy, and the Saints just don't have a competent enough roster to compete with the Chargers.
J.K.
and Jim Harbaugh.
Dobbins beat a lot of Ezekiel Elliott's Ohio State records.
Hey, shout out the 6th-round draft pick J.K. Dobbins for saving me in fantasy in multiple leagues this year.
Perfect, Matt. Who do you got?
Yep, I have the Chargers as well. I think the Saints were, in my eyes, the Saints were one of those teams just like
They're on a 5-game losing streak
just
right
like
now.
just like
Pretty insane.
we called on the Seahawks, like of them going 3-0, but it being a fraud 3-0. I thought the Saints were the exact same way. Like I didn't think like after that week 1 and then the win against
The
Cowboys and
yeah.
all that. Yeah, no.
And
I
now
don't-
it just
Before
shows
you
the
give your
Cowboys
pick,
just suck.
before you give your pick, one thing. The magic potion did run out. Like you
Yeah.
were right. The magic potion did indeed
Just
run
some
out.
teams always start off 2-0 that suck. Like
Yeah.
that just always happens, and I
yeah.
just knew.
I thought the
would do
Saints
that.
was one of those teams. Yep.
I got the Chargers too. I don't think it matters. I think it's gonna be this is gonna be the most boring game of the week.
So
easily.
far, the only game we have different is the Jags game, right?
Yep.
Next up, Bills at Seahawks. I have the Seahawks.
Thank God, dude.
winning
I need a
this
win against
game.
you, dude. God damn.
Josh Allen played good, but it was against the Titans, and the first quarter was sketchy.
That's crazy.
Seahawks looked really good against the Falcons
is
to me.
crazy.
The Bills
Geno,
defense.
the thing about
That's
Geno Smith is
crazy.
Geno Smith can ball.
Geno Smith
I'm not
was
the. I think
slinging
Geno
that
Smith is
thing.
okay. I don't.
He
think,
is Kirk Cousins. Him and Kirk Cousins are on the same level. To
I
your
completely
quarterback.
agree, but I think the Seahawks offense has looked really good, and I think the Bills defense hasn't looked very good. I really think the Seahawks are going to win this game. I have the final score 30-27. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Every Seahawks game is a fucking high-scoring game at this point, but I think the Seahawks are going to take it. If I'm being honest,
I have the Bills. I think Josh Allen. So one thing that I was realizing is this year it seems like Patrick Mahomes and Josh Allen just completely switched. Like Josh Allen isn't turning the ball over like he did, and that's like everybody.
he's
like
not turning it over.
everybody.
He hasn't thrown an
that-
interception yet.
Yeah, like everybody who's been like crapping on Josh Allen has just been saying like the dude could win the Super Bowl if he would stop turning the ball over, and he hasn't turned the ball
He
over.
hasn't turned the ball over. He's still not gonna
Mahomes
win the
has
Super
6
Bowl.
touchdowns and 8 interceptions, and watch this. He's still going to find
No.
his way to the Super Bowl. He's going to beat Josh Allen
That's
in the
what-
playoffs
Bills-
again.
Like,
That's
they're
what I was
6-0,
gonna talk about
like-
too. I respect that Mahomes is like fuck the MVP. I think Mahomes does not give two shits.
No, he does not
He wants
care.
to win.
He's like, we're going to the
Dude,
bowl. I don't
if
care.
he literally threw no touchdowns, 2 interceptions, and he
won the
went
game.
home, drank beer, fucked his Sports Illustrated wife, had his 2 beautiful kids in his $200
here's
million
the thing.
mansion.
Yeah.
Everybody chanted Mahomes, 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 and he goes home to a good life. He don't care
No,
about
and
MVPs.
watch.
He already's got 2.
No, here's what's going to happen. Mahomes, they're going to make the playoffs, obviously. He's going to finish
3P.
with terrible stats, like bottom
And he's
20,
gonna win the
bottom
Super Bowl.
15 stats. And then in the playoffs, though, he's not just going to win the Super Bowl. He's just going to become Mahomes again in the playoffs. Like, he's going to play perfect football.
Yeah.
He's going to do crazy shit, and it's going to be bullshit, to be honest. But that's just Mahomes.
Next game, we got Bears Commanders. So last year, there was a second pick quarterback who was looking better than the first overall pick quarterback. Talking about C.J. Stroud against Bryce Young. You know who beat who?
You know, I put a bet on that game, and I got it right. I bet on
Bryce
the
Young
Panthers.
beat C.J. Stroud. And I think it's the exact same situation this year. The first overall pick shows why he's the first overall pick. Give me the Bears.
You know, I actually originally wrote down the Bears, and then I deleted it and put in the Commanders because I do think the Bears defense is going to be able to slow down Jaden Daniels, but the Ravens defense slowed down Jaden Daniels, and he still put up 23. I think if Jaden Daniels puts up more than 23 points, the Bears offense will
I
be
think
able
it's
to do the
whichever
same.
quarterback plays better.
I mean, 100%, especially because Caleb's playing another very not good defense, and he's been playing good against these not good defenses. I just have more faith
Caleb's
in the
easily
Commanders.
the more talented
I
quarterback.
have more faith in the Commanders' offense than I do the Bears' offense, and I think that's what it's going to come down to. I think the Bears, as of right now, are a better roster. I just really do think the Commanders are going to win. I think I only have them winning by a field goal, so I do think anybody could take it, though.
Yeah, I also have the Commanders. I love the way Jaden Daniels plays, and I think he watching Jaden Daniels and watching Caleb Williams. I just think Jaden Daniels Jaden Daniels makes decisions better than Caleb Williams has so far this season. Like, as far as just being a decision maker and just instantly like, am I taking off or am I throwing the ball? he's been way better than Caleb Williams and has outperformed him.
And I think he is supposed to be back next week. He did go out on the
Yeah, he's
injury,
supposed
but
to
I
be
saw
back.
it wasn't
Yeah.
very serious.
But you didn't say if, so it doesn't matter either way.
No, I didn't say if. Fuck it. Next up, Panthers at Broncos. I don't think the Broncos are going to destroy the Panthers, if I'm being honest, but I do have the Broncos winning 20-10. The Panthers just lost by 30 points to the Commanders.
Start Bryce Young. Let the kid play.
So
at this
you know
rate.
my opinion on Bryce Young. I was literally telling Zach, I was like, bro, they are losing by 20 points at halftime. Just put in Bryce Young.
Yeah.
You know my opinion,
Yeah.
and even I was saying to put in Bryce Young. This is the one time to give him a chance. Be like, okay, you got to sit and learn for a little bit. Let's see what you got. And they put him in for like one drive at the end of the game, I think.
Dude, at this point, like, y'all drafted this kid first overall. Either trade
you're
him
not-
now for the most value you can,
Yeah.
or cut him and say you fucked up on the first overall
I
pick.
think there's no world where they cut him, but my thing is, if you're not gonna trade him, put him back in, like,
No, I
because
agree.
you're clearly
Yeah.
not winning games anyways. I don't think you'll win games with Bryce Young, if I'm being
Yeah.
honest. But if you drafted him number 1 overall and you're not gonna trade him, why is he not in the game?
If you think he's gonna be your guy long term, play him now. Y'all are gonna suck either way.
yeah,
Yeah.
Unless the only reason is they think he's gonna get hurt.
yeah.
I have the Broncos. I had this as another one of those like Jets Patriots games
Oh,
where
those
it's
games
like
would be
so freaking boring. Like it's just going to be going back and forth, nobody's scoring. But I do think the Broncos squeak it out just because the Broncos defense is nasty this year.
The Broncos have a
Panthers
squad.
aren't going to do anything.
Broncos.
Yeah, the Broncos as well.
Yeah, I got the Broncos as well.
Next up, Chiefs at Raiders. I think this is probably the easiest game of the week. I have the Chiefs winning 30-17 over the Raiders. By the way, the Raiders just picked up.
Wow.
Oh my God, I'm blanking. Desmond Ridder. They just signed Desmond Ridder off the Cardinals
Nice.
practice squad. I don't know if he's going to be starting because I know he still needs to learn the offense, but he has over a week to do so. I
I think Minshew's better than Ritter.
don't know. I kind of think Desmond Ridder. I
was-
didn't Desmond Ridder get like 8 wins for the Falcons last year? I know Heineke
True.
played a little bit, but I think
I was
Ridder
telling Annie, I was like, Gardner Minshew is like,
ass.
no, I was telling Annie, he's like, he's probably the best backup in the NFL. Like, if he's a backup, he'll go in for you when you need him to, but he wants to be a backup. Like, he
Yeah.
literally doesn't
He's
care.
not, and not only that, he's just not a starter. Like,
he's just not a starter,
good
but
enough.
he also is the guy who, like, if he has to become the starter, he's like, oh, I'm going to fucking win this shit.
I think Flacco's the best backup in the NFL, if I'm being
Right
honest.
now,
True, but I'm saying
I
you-
would say Flacco.
No, of
also.
course, but Minshew's up there.
Yeah,
And, but
Pickett.
don't you get Minshew wants to be. Minshew don't want to be
But
a
I'd rather
starter.
have Pickett. I'd rather have Mac Jones. Like, there's a few, but
Justin Fields.
yeah.
Oh, Justin Fields is easy.
Hey, I'll say I was mad they benched Justin Fields. Tomlin
Me
clearly knew.
That's why they pay him the big
Okay,
bucks.
he
Now-
he clearly knew what he was doing.
Russell Wilson looked good, but I was also pissed whenever they benched
Yeah.
Justin
Bef-
Fields because he's been balling.
But
Like,
before
just
the
let him.
game, I was
Not
mad.
like that.
Their offense hasn't looked that good with
Nope.
Fields. I think Tomlin knew something we didn't,
And the Jets defense is
it
not that
showed.
bad.
Next up, Cowboys at 49ers. If the Cowboys and the 49ers are
Wait,
playing,
I got the Chiefs. I didn't say.
Oh, I
got
also had the
Chiefs.
oh,
Chiefs.
my apologies.
Yeah.
Yeah, just
Next
skip
up-
over the guest and your co-host.
I'm sorry.
Maddox.
It's
Fucking
the
asshole.
easiest game of the week. I'm sorry. Next up, Cowboys at 49ers. If the Cowboys are playing the 49ers, I'm going to pick the 49ers every single time. Both of these teams are supposed to be good, and they both haven't played very good this season. However, Brock Purdy's better than Dak Prescott. The running game's better on the offense. The passing game's better on the offense. I think the defenses are pretty similar at this point because I think the 49ers on paper have a better defense, but they haven't been playing up to it. But the 49ers win this game 27-20 in San Francisco.
Listen, I don't care if the Cowboys were playing the Carolina Panthers or the Miami Dolphins or the Las Vegas Raiders. I don't care who the Cowboys are playing. I'm taking the other team. I will never choose the Cowboys to win a game just because I hate the Cowboys. They're literally I am
There's
one
two
of
rules
those.
at this podcast. We don't support the Cowboys.
Don't shit on Baker Mayfield.
Don't shit on Baker Mayfield.
There you go.
Amen. Hallelujah.
And
There you
over
go.
for the Browns.
So I have the 49ers.
Browns is probably rule number 3.
I have the 49ers, and I think, I can't
really-
stand the Cowboys.
The Cowboys might win. I'm going with the 49ers. The only reason if the 49ers had a better record right now, if the 49ers are like 5-2, 4-3, not 3-4, I would pick the Cowboys, but there's just no way. Like the 49ers are too good of a team.
They need to
They're
win.
too good of a team to go 3-5 right here.
Yeah,
So
no,
that's why I went the 49ers.
I think that's a very fair
Cowboys are
reasoning.
going to be third in their division by the end of the season.
Dude, it's looking like it at this point. Last game of the week, Giants at Steelers. First off, Why is this a primetime game? Can anybody please explain that
That's
to
what-
me? Why?
I was so confused when I was
You see
looking
that
at
the Vikings next week got flexed into the
Yes,
primetime game?
I did.
Let's go. Why
Yeah.
can't you do that this week? You can't put like
Hopefully they do that with
you
our
can't-
Minnesota
You
game.
can't put Bears Commanders flex to primetime. You can't put Eagles Bengals. No, we have to watch Giants and Steelers on Monday night for whatever reason. The Steelers
Yeah.
are going to easily win this game. The Giants couldn't move the ball against the Eagles defense. How are they going to move the ball against the Steelers defense? And Russ was balling out in the Steelers offense. They're going to win this game probably by 2 possessions.
Yeah, they I literally have no clue how this game got Monday Night Football.
Even at
But
the beginning of the season.
that's like okay.
No,
first
like,
of
The
all,
Giants,
every
the
single
Giants are a high market team. I get
literally
that,
this
and so are
past
the
week, y'all
Steelers.
already said it. This past week on like the red zone highlights, it was Daniel Jones getting sacked. What do you think TJ Watt's gonna do this
Dude,
week?
oh
TJ
my
Watt's gonna get 6 sacks in one game.
Yeah.
Like it's just gonna be a horror show.
There's another game.
I have the Steelers on the.
I wanted to
Giants.
pick the Giants because if last week wasn't such a shit show, I probably would have picked the Giants. But exactly how you said, if the Eagles' shitty D-line can destroy fucking Daniel Jones, imagine what J.J. Watt, Alex Highsmith, and
And
Cameron
not even just
Hayward
that.
could
If you
do.
like, not even just a D line. If you're only putting up 3 points against the Eagles, how are you gonna win a game against the Steelers? Like,
Yeah, I mean,
there's
we
just,
put up how many against the Eagles? Can't even think about it. Buck on top.
like a lot. Okay, but you're comparing yourself to the Giants right now. You can't do that.
I'll compare myself.
You can compare the freaking Raiders to the Giants, and the Raiders look good. Like,
All right, Matt, we won't let you go too soon. We got a little bit of time before the Bucks-Ravens game. We're pre-recording. That's the power of editing, guys. So since Matt's here, I'm going to give Lennon's Thoughts of the Week,
Okay.
the fan favorite segment.
Okay.
So I was sitting down, watching football. Do y'all know when the last tie in the NFL was? I was thinking about that. There's been a tie.
Wasn't
There-
it?
So I
the
wanna ask-
Steelers.
2
The
years
Steelers
ago.
had a tie, right?
Matt Ryan Colts last time.
Okay.
Oh,
What do you think?
I thought I knew the Steelers had a pretty recent one.
Okay. It was actually December 4th, 2022, Commanders versus Giants
Oh.
was the last
wow.
tie.
But that same year, Matt Ryan did have a tie because I remember it was week 1 of the NFL season on the
I think they
Colts.
were the football team in 2022 is what's funny.
Maybe, but
But is there going to be a tie this year? Do we see one? What do y'all think?
no, I just think
No.
with how good the offenses are in the NFL, there's really no world where a game goes to overtime and nobody puts up any points, in my
Yeah.
opinion. Unless
I agree.
unless it's like the Panthers versus the Giants. That's the only world where a game could tie.
All right, and then I want to ask, so you have the Cowboys right now, who are 3-4,
They might be 3-3. I think they had a bye.
3-3, like they're pretty bad. And they just paid their player the highest contract in NFL history. Is Dak the problem? If you're a Cowboys fan, none of us are Cowboys fans. What are y'all's thoughts about that?
You go first, Matt.
I don't want to say, like, part of me doesn't want to say Dak is the problem whenever, like, looking at his regular season stats, he's not the problem. But in playoffs where it actually matters to be a good quarterback, it definitely is a Dak Prescott problem. He just cannot
Baker
handle
Mayfield
that.
has many playoff wins to Dak Prescott.
So does Kirk Cousins.
Crazy.
I don't think Kirk Cousins has a single playoff win.
He does.
He has to have one.
No, I don't think he does.
Yeah, Kirk.
Wait, I don't think he ever won
He
in
never won with
Washington. He never won
Minnesota.
one with Minnesota. I think Kirk Cousins
No,
has
he did
0
win one
playoff
with
wins.
Washington.
He probably won one with Washington.
I really
Because
don't think he did.
I remember because
Even if
Dak
he won-
Prescott.
Dak
I think
might
Dak
have
has
3.
2 though. Dak has 2. I'm
Oh,
pretty
Dak
sure.
has 2.
And Baker
I
has
think,
2. And Baker's on the Browns for 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I think he does have more than Kirk, but regardless,
Like, that's crazy.
I think there's multiple sources of the problem. I think Dak is a part of it, but I don't think he's the one to blame. I do think that paying him $240 million before the season even started,
Mistake.
while you have another year under his contract, like imagine they got to watch this season out. If they finish
Mm-hmm.
7-10, they don't have to pay him that much money. I think the biggest part of the problem is definitely Jerry Jones. We don't even really got to get into
Yeah,
that too
I
much. You
agree.
could have gotten Derrick Henry. You didn't. You refused to acknowledge the running back position whatsoever.
Mhm.
And the next problem is going to be Mike McCarthy, which also falls under Jerry Jones because you could have fired him last season after watching him lose and get decimated in the playoffs once again.
to his former
By a
team.
7 seed.
To his former team.
Exactly.
His apprentice who he brought in. He
By a
brought in Matt
7
LaFleur.
seed?
He brought in
Yeah.
Matt
No, it's
LaFleur
just-
to coach his
Mike
offense and
McCarthy-
loses to him.
Mike McCarthy and Jerry Jones, I would
Yeah.
say, are the source of the problem.
I agree.
So I agree with y'all completely. I think Dak Prescott's not losing them games right now. He's not winning them games. But is that your $60 million a year, the highest paid NFL player of all time? No. I get Dallas has the biggest market. Dallas has the most money. Makes sense, but still.
I don't think he deserves.
And then you also have CeeDee Lamb, who's the second highest paid NFL player of all time, not quarterback.
That's crazy.
There you go.
Cowboys won't win a ring until Jerry Jones
All right,
dies.
and then so Sam Darnold's first test this week. I wanted to see what y'all thought. This is his first real like close game test. I thought he did well. I thought the last play was the only time where he really showed like when they needed him, he showed up. Except that last play was. Really
I will say, at the end of the day, the reason we lost, we did have a lot of penalties, which I think didn't help us, which I think is a big reason. However, the penalties were bad. However, Sam Darnold was a big reason we lost the game. He threw an interception at one of the worst times. If he doesn't throw that interception, we win the game. And it wasn't even like a bullshit interception. It was a bad throw. He didn't complete the 2-point conversion, which we really needed. If they kick that field goal, it's a tied game if we get the 2-point conversion. And then on third down, to pretty much not seal the game, but we can keep the clock going. We don't have to get the Lions the ball back. He overthrows Justin Jefferson, and we don't convert on third down, and the clock stops. Yeah. So I think a part of the loss does need to fall onto Sam Darnold. I do think the defense needs to take a little bit of a hit because they allowed 21 points in one quarter of football. But whenever Sam Darnold's given these opportunities to seal the game, he really should be able to. He's outperforming everybody's expectations, but I do think that loss does mostly fall on him.
Yeah, he's been like, I honestly think that like so far he's played great. Like again, like you said, he's exceeded everybody's expectations. I just think he looked a little inconsistent this week, and I think he really just needs to get back into the rhythm of being consistent like he has been. And obviously, I personally think the Vikings will be just fine. I think this was a test that proved that
you are legit.
We're legit.
This is like
keep up.
This is a loss that's not a loss.
No, that's what I told
Y'all are
Zach.
second in division now.
Because I picked the Lions last week. I did not think we were going to win this game. However, watching the game, I told Zach, I was like, us losing this way gives me hope because the Lions are potentially the best team in the league. Yeah. And we went toe-to-toe with them. They won on a last-second field goal, and we played a really good game. There was a little bit of me, even when we were 5-0, that was worried. It was kind of we got started too early. We're going to fall off and really not play consistently. But that game really got me bought, and I think we're going to easily make the playoffs this year, potentially win a wild card game. Do I think we're going to go to the Super Bowl or anything? Probably not, but I do think we're going to be a very good team this year.
Okay, and then last part of the London thoughts.
Let's go.
Have y'all seen what Sam Darnold does every time he gets sacked? No, he lays on the ground. He's just like with his ass kind of in the air. It's so funny. Just watch. Every time he got sacked that last game, he lays down and makes like the dumbest face, like looking around, or like he's totaled the ball like this. He's looking around. His ass is kind of sticking out.
I think most of the time, whenever he was getting sacked that game, I was throwing shit, so I was too busy looking at what I was throwing instead of watching the game.
That's funny. All right, Matt. What do you have? Any thoughts on the week? Any thoughts on the podcast? What do you got to finish off?
I actually do have something to say before I leave. Honestly, I just want to speak to all the people watching real quick. Okay, these guys have individual channels. Like Lennon works his butt off with his individual channel, like doing literally just making what I appreciate most about your channel is like you literally made a platform for people of all kinds of different arts and all that stuff to come and share with the people why they're doing it and what it looks like to do it, and I really appreciate that. And then Maddox, obviously, dude, one of the best Madden content makers that
he's number 2.
Watch. It's,
and you would agree you're number 2.
It's literally crazy.
MMG's GOAT.
I think I mean you're literally one of the best fantasy builders, GMs of all time.
Even though Madden sucks, dude, I don't even want to do rebuilds anymore. The game is so bad. I haven't uploaded this video yet. I did a Browns rebuild. The last 2 seasons of the rebuild, the first of the last 2 years, I was a 90 overall team. The next highest was an 88. I went 6-11 and missed the playoffs. The next season, I'm the highest overall team in the league, and I lose in the wild card round. I can only do so much. Madden franchise doesn't make EA any money, so they're like, fuck franchise. Let's just make it the worst possible thing ever, and they don't even care about it. And I'm so done making franchise videos, but I love doing it, and I know that's what my fan base loves to watch, so I keep doing it. But holy shit, I'm genuinely shaving years off of my life.
Yeah.
But
no, I love it. Yeah, no, I love it. I love it. Both of y'all are working.
Yeah,
both of y'all are working so hard,
I'm doing
and now
4 shows a week at this.
Yeah, and now that y'all are coming together and doing this one, and I'm definitely
and this
blessed
is
to
better
be on. So
than a lot of the content we do individually.
I would agree.
I think.
I would agree.
Yeah. No, I literally can't wait for Thursdays whenever this is uploaded, and like it's literally the first thing I watch. So
Matt is the favorite at the opening kickoff.
Yep.
He's superior.
Everybody comment.
Appreciate
We love you, Matt. We love you,
appreciate
Matt.
it.
And hey,
Appreciate
we finally got Matt on. We got a new
Yes.
hard drive. We were kicking it. This upload, like, hey, we're killing it now.
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
I was glad to be on.
no more
Thank y'all.
technical difficulties getting in the way.
Thank you.
Yes. Did you see my
Peace.
editing on that one episode though with the green screen? Did you ever see that? No one saw it.
I don't
I
think
know.
so.
I didn't watch the episode, but just because you told me to watch it, I went and skipped to it and watched it.
It was pretty good, huh?
It was pretty good.
I actually
literally
didn't
was
even, I
like,
don't even think I.
whoa! I had the green screen like, you can't see me.
Yeah.
That's impressive that I was able to do it that good.
All right, well, shout out Matt for coming
yeah.
on the pod and
Appreciate
supporting
it,
all the
guys.
personal channels.
When you see us at the beginning of the episode, if I'm hyped, which I will be after this Bucks win. You! Let's go, Baker! Let's fucking win!
We'll see at the beginning of the episode if he is hyped or depressed. I think he's gonna be depressed. But
Dude, like, I just don't even know. Like, this just sucks, man. It sucks. Like, it really fucking just sucks. Like, I nothing else I can describe it. Like, and part of me is like, why is Chris Godwin in? The other part of me is like, it's a 10-point game with a crucial game. If we win this, Chris Godwin
Yeah.
doesn't get hurt. Everybody's like, whoa. Like, and we had a chance to win. I had a dream we won it.
that's crazy.
Like, I had a dream, like, we ended up coming back and winning, and Chris Godwin was still hurt. So it was, like, a little bit better, you know? Like, at least we won. But,
Yeah,
man,
I mean-
I think you still play Chris Godwin. I think you try to get the win right there.
Yeah, I don't completely hate the call. Like
It's only a
the thing
10-point
is,
game.
yeah, if it's any other lead, and I get they have no timeouts, and I get there's 50 seconds left, but in a game where you're slowly inching back, like you may as well try. If you get a touchdown there, you have the opportunity for an onside kick, and then all you need to get is in field goal range to tie the game. Like I get it. Like if they were losing by
And if
like,
we don't try, everybody's like, why didn't we try?
exactly. If y'all were losing by like 20 or 30, then I'd be on the other side. But it's just, I kind of get why he was out there, and it's really depressing. I do think I kind of like expected how this game was going to go. I said the Ravens were going to take it by 2 possessions. I said that it was going to be a pretty dominant win, but in no way like did I expect the game to be that depressing.
It was
losing-
bad.
When you have 2 receivers that could be a receiver 1 on most teams, and they both get injured,
And
in
they're
the same
both top
game.
10 receivers this year.
Yeah, like that like genuinely sucks. Like there's no other way to put it. It just sucks.
It's heartbreaking. The city of Tampa's gone through enough, man.
Would you cut off your leg and give it to
No.
Chris Godwin if it guaranteed a Bucs Super Bowl this year?
Can I never have a leg for the rest of
but
my life?
They guaranteed win the Super Bowl. This
Or can
year.
I just take Chris Godwin's broken leg?
I'd have to yeah, but it guaranteed.
I would take his broken leg. I'm not going to have one leg for the rest of my life. I'll have a broken leg right now.
I don't think I'd take a broken leg for a.
Do I have to do it with
Vikings
the
Super
pain, or
Bowl.
can I just have it in the cast right now?
I mean, it's still gonna hurt if it's in the cast.
Okay, but
That's
if
how
I don't
broken
have to
bones work.
snap my leg,
No, you don't
right
have to
now-
snap it. You
Okay,
just
yep,
get his one that's
put me
already
in a
broken.
cast. Put me in a cast for 6 months
And you have a black leg. You could say the N
to
word.
guarantee a Bucs Super Bowl.
And you could say the N word from that point on.
I don't want a black leg. I want just a white leg.
Well, it's Chris Godwin's leg, and he's black.
Dude, I'm gonna have such disproportional muscle on my legs. Does
You're gonna have
Does Chris
huge-
Godwin get my leg?
Yeah,
Oh God.
but it guarantees the Bucs Super Bowl. He's athletic enough. He can make it work.
Oh God. Hey, I got good legs, like athletic legs. I think he'd be fine. Yeah, absolutely. I would take a broken leg right now. I'd break my leg right now for his guaranteed Bucs Super Bowl.
That's crazy, bro. You are passionate. I love the Vikings. I'm not breaking any bones for them.
Okay, and then yays and nays. So obviously my nay's obvious. Bucks lost. Who cares about the Bucks losing? Our season's probably over. Like realistically, and I only say that I think we can still have a chance to go to the playoffs. Still have a chance to make a run. I truly believe we're Super Bowl contenders, and we lost our 2 best players.
Yeah.
Hard to be Super Bowl contenders after that. Yay. Cardinals looked good. My other team, like that's about it. Like there's literally like yay, it's still NFL season. Like I like literally like I don't know
Yeah.
any other yays.
My name is probably watching the Vikings lose for the first time this season. Like it really wasn't a bad loss. Like I'm really not that upset about the way we lost the game, but I've told everybody it's kind of been easier in the past being a fan of the Vikings while they're not good because I don't expect anything. Like when I expect things from them, I'm standing in front of the TV screaming, like expecting good things to happen. So that's going to be my nay as we unfortunately finally lost. But my yay, I could try to be more clever than that.
This is a shitty week of football. Like this week sucks.
This week did suck. My yay is that, damn. My yay is that I won in fantasy. Not against you, but in the other league.
Yeah.
That was the only good thing that came from this week.
And OU got mollywopped.
Oh, you lost. Vikings lost. Bucks lost. I lost in fantasy. My parlays didn't hit. Great week.
The only good thing this week was my fantasy teams went 3-4.
Yeah, right.
Like, that's it. But enough sad shit. We're going to try. This is probably the most sad episode. Dude, we should definitely, like, the title has to be, like, and I'm going to make, like, the thumbnail, like, me, like, I'm crying and shit. Like,
About Chris Godwin getting hurt.
and then, like, yeah, that'd be a funny thumbnail. We're going to do top 10 rookie quarterback. Another reason, if we don't have as much energy, we're dead sober because it's noon
Top
right
10?
now.
I only have.
Oh, sorry, top 7.
Okay. And this is based off their future.
Yeah,
correct?
how we think their futures are going to pan out. Let's start at 7.
7, I have Spencer Rattler. I
Ooh.
honestly do like Spencer Rattler, and I did kind of think going into the season he would end up as the starter. I don't really think that's the case anymore. I do think he got thrown in there earlier than he was ever expected to, but I just, with his size and with his decision making, and especially being in New Orleans, which just kind of has turned into a shit show, I really don't see a world where maybe he does have a decent career, but not on the same level as any of these other guys.
Okay, I think you'll probably completely disagree with this, but I have Michael Penix at 7
Okay.
because of his situation. He's older. He's already 24. It's really crazy as a rookie to be 24. Justin Fields is younger. C.J. Stroud's younger. Anthony Richardson's younger. There's guys who've been in the league 2 years who are younger. Crazy. Don't see him being a starter for 2 to 3 years. I think Kirk's got 2 or 3 years left. They're not going to trade him. They're holding him for their future. What if there's a better guy after Kirk retires? Like, that's just, I just think they wasted his career, and I think.
But the thing is, if there's a better guy, he would probably be a top 10 draft pick. I'm assuming the Falcons, while they have Kirk, they're not expecting having a top 10 draft pick. I think it's honestly good for Michael Penix's future getting to sit, even though he's older. I mean, Kirk's definitely not going to play more than 3 more seasons, in my opinion. I think if he does, he's going to start, regressing and just not being the same anymore. I think we see Michael Penix by the time he's 27 as the starter of the Falcons. I don't have him super high on this list, but I mean, I don't think his
I just think he
situation's
was
bad.
drafted in the worst situation.
I think he could have been. I think it's worse getting drafted to a terrible team with a high draft pick than it is to get drafted to a team who wants to sit you for a couple years. So you can learn behind the
You know
starter.
me, I'm all for sitting him, but I just think he got sat behind one of the highest paid free agents, who's
yeah, but
great regular season quarterback who's going to get him a lot of regular season wins.
exactly. So they know they signed Kirk Cousins, and that they're not going to have a good enough draft pick by the time they don't have Kirk Cousins to get another quarterback. So why not go ahead and get one now that you genuinely
True.
believe
I
in?
mean,
However, with that being said, I have him at 6.
okay.
And it's really not because of the same reason. It's more just about he's had injury issues and a little bit of the age. Like, he's not going to get as big of a window as a lot of these guys. Like, being 24 and already having to sit, like, by the time you're a starter, you're going to be 27, possibly 28 years old.
Yeah.
And
sucks.
I think it'll make him better in that moment, but he's not going to have as long of a window as the rest of these guys are to play in his prime. So I do think it's going to affect his long-term
Completely
career.
agree. Number 6, I got J.J. McCarthy. The exact same reason. He got screwed with his injury. He was already a backup.
R.I.P. J.J. McCarthy.
They did announce that Sam Darnold was a starter before he tore his meniscus.
I don't think they did.
I think it was like a day or two before. Is what's crazy. So Sam Darnold earned that starting spot.
No, because he tore it like before preseason even started. Like he really.
I'm 95%.
Or no,
positive.
preseason has started, but they hadn't announced the starter yet.
Pretty sure they did announce. But if not, either way, Sam Darnold's going to get a bag next year. Sam Darnold's going to get a Baker Mayfield-esque contract, get 30-something million for 3 years. J.J. McCarthy coming in after that. Here's the thing. The difference between Michael Penix over Kirk and then Sam Darnold. Sam Darnold's only 27. Sam Darnold has years and years and years of football to play. Years. Sam Darnold has a lot of football left to be played. Sam Darnold's still young. 27 for a quarterback is pretty young for like a guy. Like, obviously, I'm shitting on Michael Penix earlier saying you're not going to, but you're not starting till you're 27.
Yeah.
That's crazy. The only way J.J. McCarthy would be higher is if he goes to a different team, and I could see him going to a shit team and just being in a sticky situation. But I think he'll probably be a really good backup for years.
So I
the
actually
Vikings.
also have J.J. McCarthy at 6, but I kind of disagree mainly because.
Well, at 5.
I'm sorry, I have him at 5. The main reason I disagree, I do think we'll end up signing Sam Darnold to like a 3-4 year deal. However, the reason I don't think this is comparable to the Michael
'Cause
Penix
he's 22?
situation is he's 20.
He's only 20?
He might be 21 now. When he was drafted, he was 20. He probably had a birthday since then. He's 21. I think he was the youngest quarterback of any of these guys
Yeah, he
that
was.
we put on this list. And I mean, yeah, Sam Darnold's 27. Let's say he plays for the Vikings till he's 32. JJ McCarthy comes in at 26 and gets Kevin O'Connell's offense. And clearly, because I don't think Sam Darnold is this game changer. He is managing the game. I'm not taking anything away from him. He's been great, but he's managing the game. He's not changing it. And all JJ McCarthy has to do is come in and manage the game as good as Sam Darnold has with Kevin O'Connell's offense, which I think will come pretty easily to him. And I think that's why they drafted him. I do think if he didn't get hurt, there was a good chance we would have seen him as a starter. I don't really know for sure, but it sucks that the guy that they picked up to kind of have you learn from ended up playing amazing.
Yep.
Like, it kind of sucks for him, but I do think I think JJ McCarthy.
He's really young.
I think he's gonna have a pretty decent career once, because there's no way we have Sam Darnold for more than like 5 years, assuming, because we should re-sign him at the end of the year most likely.
Well, say y'all sign him for 5 years. That's JJ McCarthy's 5th-year option. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's where it gets sticky.
It's not like we don't get to see him in practice.
No, I know, but it's just like,
pick up the 5th year and then,
or you trade him in a few years for a team who need like that. I just see something like that happening. Like,
yeah, I mean, I don't know.
The NFL is not very forgiving, and backup quarterbacks who are, if you can trade your backup quarterback for a 2nd overall pick, do that every time.
Nobody would ever trade a 2nd round pick for JJ McCarthy, especially not in 3
Never
4
seen
years.
him play. Very true.
Trey Lance got traded for a 5th rounder.
True. At number 5, I got Spencer Rattler. The reason I have him higher than the other 2 guys, not talent, probably the least talented quarterback out of all these guys. His situation is kind of perfect right now. I think you disagree a little bit from what you were saying. I think Derek Carr is on his way out. I think Derek Carr is going to come back in, and the Saints are going to suck just as much as they did with Spencer Rattler. And Derek Carr is on a really heavy 2-year deal. And so Spencer Rattler is going to see it. Derek Carr is pretty injury prone. Yeah. Spencer Rattler is going to see the field a good amount. And then I think once Derek Carr is gone, they're just going to give Spencer Rattler a year and be like, we're going to let you play for a year. And I think Spencer Rattler, between the 2 guys under him, he's going to be a starter for a year before. And I think that's kind of why.
I don't disagree with what you're saying at all. I just think the way the Saints have been the past couple years, on top of the fact that Spencer Rattler isn't very talented, I think it's not going to matter that he gets to see the field earlier. And long term, when it comes to career, I think Michael Penix and JJ McCarthy have a better one. Okay. So now we're at number 4.
Yep.
Number 4, I have Bo Nix.
Same.
It's kind of been surprising people this year. When the Broncos took him, everybody said they reached, which they technically kind of did.
Absolutely reached.
But here's the thing. If the Falcons don't take Penix at 8 or 9, wherever it was, they don't take Bo Nix, I don't think, if I'm being completely honest.
You think they take Penix?
I don't think they take a quarterback. I think the Falcons drafting a quarterback that early threw everybody off, and they're like, holy shit, there's one quarterback left on the board other than Rattler and these other late-round guys. They're like, oh shit, we need to draft him now. But Sean Payton's been coaching him up pretty good. I don't think he's been spectacular in any way. I don't think he's been a first-round talent quarterback, but he's been decent enough. And let's not act like the Broncos have the most talented offense ever. Yeah. I like Cortland Sutton, but outside of that,
bring him in some more talent.
Bring him some more talent. I think he could be a very good game manager, and their defense plays good. I do think the Broncos, like within the next 2 seasons, we could see them playing in a wild card spot eventually. Yep. Do I think
they have a chance this year? They have a real good chance this year.
I doubt it, just because the division and everything like that.
Yeah,
but
they haven't played the Chiefs twice yet, which doesn't help.
And they have to play the Chargers again. I think they lose that game again.
Yep.
But I do think within the next couple of years, I don't think Bo Nix brings Denver a Super Bowl or anything ever, but I think they'll get to see the playoffs a couple times, and I think he's going to continue to surprise people because I don't think anybody was very high on him going into the draft.
Number 4, I got Bo Nix as well. I think you said everything perfectly. The other 3 guys that we just named, they're not guaranteed starters for the next 5 years. He's going to be the starter for the next 5 years. He can sling a ball. I think he has a coach who he has a good relationship with.
He can run, too.
He can run, too. That's one of his slept part of his games, and that's all I got to say.
Next up, I have Drake May at number 3. I honestly do think I'd have Drake May a little bit higher if the other 2 quarterbacks, weren't playing so good, and if Drake May was on a different team.
Yep.
Going into the draft, I was higher on Drake May than I was Jaden Daniels. I personally thought the Commanders should have gone with Drake May.
Yeah, you're a Jaden Daniels hater.
I wasn't really a hater. I just thought they should have been flopped the order they were drafted. But I think Jaden Daniels got a little lucky that he got drafted. Or not lucky, but I do think now that I've gotten to see Jaden Daniels play the way he has, Commanders were a great situation for him, and he's proven me wrong. But Drake May, I think if he's drafted to a different team, I probably put him above maybe one of these guys. We haven't gotten to see him play much, but with a bad Patriots roster, he's managed to look pretty decent. Yeah. I just don't think the Patriots within these next few years, like they're in a rebuild right now.
Gerard Mayo, their coach, literally said we're in a rebuild.
And honestly, Gerard Mayo kind of sucks as a head coach, if I'm being honest. But
Yeah.
you're in a deep rebuild that's probably going to take multiple years. So by the time Drake May's 5th year's option's coming up, I don't think they're going to be a good team yet. I mean, maybe by that 4th
No,
year.
I mean 3 years is a long time for a rebuild.
I think 3 years.
Rebuilds. You have to think about the Lions. They had one good draft class, and it was pretty much their rebuild.
I mean, the Lions went almost 0-16.
Then the next year went 8-9 with a few good players. And the next year picked up 4 studs in a row.
Yeah, but do
And
you
then made
think
it
the
NFC
Patriots are
championship.
capable of drafting that good? I don't think they are.
We don't know yet. We'll see.
I'm going to be honest. I
they
think he's
drafted
good.
pretty well
I
this year.
think he's good. I think the Patriots are going to slightly hold him back the next few years.
Absolutely. So do you have – I have Drake May as 3 as well. Do you kind of think Drake May is on a worse team, but he's a little more talented? That's why you have him at 3?
It's kind of hard to tell because I haven't gotten to see him play much. I think him being able to score touchdowns with a very bad Patriots
Shows a
offense
lot.
is impressive, but I think to the caliber Jaden Daniels has been playing up to right now, I don't think it's fair to say Drake May is more talented.
I was saying than Bo Nix.
And Bo Nix, he's more talented than
So
Bo
that's why you
Nix.
have him above him. 'Cause
Yes.
Bo Nix is more –
He's
Drake
more
May is
talented. He's more
talented
talented
than
than Bo Nix.
At number 2, I got Jaden Daniels, which I bet you have him at 1, correct?
No.
You have him at 2 as well?
Yeah.
Wow. What's your thought process for why he's at 2 for you?
My thought process is, first off, even though the Commanders have looked good, they are still the Commanders, and it's just not historically the best franchise.
Nope.
And my other problem is him being a scrambling quarterback and not being the best at not taking hits. And, it just, their defense is
And
bad.
he's not Lamar.
And their defense is bad, so they're having to constantly make plays. I would never wish it on him, obviously, but I do see situations where we saw him get injured last week. I could see small things like that continuing to bother him if he doesn't learn to stop taking hits.
He's
Other
gonna
than
need to
that,
put on some muscle too.
yeah, but other than that, I think he has a very bright future. I think if
Yep.
he can stay away from injury, I do think he could potentially be number 1. But because I think Caleb Williams still has some things he needs to learn too. But I think Jaden Daniels has proved that he was worth that number 2 overall pick.
I mean, I completely agree. So the thing that I agree completely in being a running quarterback, unless if you're Lamar, who is I think Lamar is probably the best ball runner in football. I don't think there's many people
Derrick
scarier.
Henry is definitely a better.
Well, because he can truck. But I'm saying open field.
No, I think Derrick Henry is 6'2" and still runs as
True.
fast as he does. Derrick Henry's
So-
really standing straight
But I'm
up.
saying they have the top 3 on their team. Come on.
Yeah.
But you get what I'm saying? How Lamar is probably the most elusive.
He's the
99.
best scrambling quarterback ever.
Well, I think he's one of the best runners with the football.
He definitely
ever.
is.
He's insane running with the football, and he is such a talented passer.
And he's not even just fast. He is explosive.
Yeah.
He is so quick.
Lamar might be the best football player ever, besides Deion Sanders and Bo Jackson, stuff like that.
That might be a stretch.
One of the best. Just
Yeah.
talented, because I think he could be a starting NFL wide receiver.
Maybe.
I think he could absolutely be a starting running back.
Yeah, definitely.
I believe if he could hit well, he could probably be a starting free safety because he's so smart. He can read defenses really well. Lamar's a baller, but Jaden Daniels is not Lamar.
Yeah, but Jaden Daniels is also a rookie.
Also a rookie, but I don't think he's never been a runner like Lamar.
No, he's a good runner.
So I
but
think he's gonna need to put some muscle
Nobody's a
on, and
runner like
Lamar doesn't need to put muscle on because he's just Lamar.
Yeah.
So Jaden Daniels is gonna need to put on some weight. I think 20 pounds. You're
I
gonna
don't
slow
even
him
think
down.
he needs to learn to put on weight. I think he just needs to learn to get the fuck down.
But no, he's really skinny. That's his ribs getting hurt is a big cause of being
but if
skinny.
he slides, he doesn't.
Very
His
true.
ribs don't get hurt.
Very, very true. Number 1, I got Caleb Williams. Does Caleb Williams ever bring Chicago a Super Bowl?
If he ever has a different head coach than Matt Eberflus, possibly. I think if anybody's going to hold back Caleb Williams, it will be Matt Eberflus. Caleb Williams, damn, he's talented.
He's so good.
He still has a lot of things to learn. He needs to not hold on to the ball as long, which he's been slightly better about. But these last few weeks where he's been having these good games, he has not played a good defense. So they play the Commanders this week once again. They don't have a good defense, so he's going to look good again. But when Caleb faces good defenses, he looks nowhere near as good as he is when he's playing these bad teams, which obviously he's a rookie. He's not going to be perfect, but he needs to learn to be able to compete with good defenses as well.
Mhm.
And his team got him all these weapons before getting him. You have Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze, DJ Moore, DeAndre Swift. I wouldn't really consider a weapon at this point, but I just think the play calling is a little bad. I think if they get a new head coach, they could potentially
Draft
find
some O-line. Draft some studs at O-line.
Their O-line's fine.
Well, no, I mean,
not fine. But
they could use a new tackle. Like, they could use moving one of their
they
tackle
could
to
use
guards or something.
they
They
could
could
use
use a Joe Alt. If they got a Joe Alt level talent,
yeah,
that would be
but
huge for them.
the O-line just gets too much slack because of Caleb holding onto the ball too long, and I'll stand on that until I fucking
No, I
die.
agree. I think it's a problem for both. But I think those guys still. Did you see the one video where it's 4th and goal and they run read option?
No.
So it's 4th and goal. They have, first of all, it's in shotgun. If it's 4th and goal, shotgun's so dumb. Unless if you're Patrick Mahomes, don't be in shotgun on 4th and 1 on the goal line.
Yeah.
Right. So then they go. Then DeAndre Swift lines up behind him. So DeAndre Swift is now 7 yards away from the goal line. They run read option. Literally, there's like a meme photo, and all the Bears alignment are like on their ass. Just got fucked. And then DeAndre Swift has 8 guys around him. It's a really funny photo. But like stuff like that, it's just like that's bad coaching and bad execution.
But as
by the
I've
line.
said, I think their rushing offensive line is worse than their passing offensive line. I've said
Absolutely.
that before, and I still do think that. Obviously, they're not a very good O-line, but they are not the worst in the league, and
They're bottom 5.
They get called. I don't even think they're bottom 5, and I think they get too much slack because Caleb. The O-line has played fine against these bad defenses. When he's playing against a good defense, he refuses to take off or throw the ball away, and he sits there and tries to make these plays that he was able to make in college that he can't right now, and takes sacks, and the O-line gets blamed for it because he won't throw the ball away.
You take sacks too, huh?
I do.
Your homework.
Do we got to go there?
Shout out Ermac. He doesn't
Happy
watch
birthday,
this shit,
Ermac.
I bet, but
He definitely doesn't. He doesn't watch football.
true, yeah, he would have no clue what we're talking about. We should have Ermac do picks one day,
That'd be pretty funny.
just to see and ask be like why he's like,
It's kind of like the video where they throw that basketball to that dog, and the dog hits his nose on it, and it lands.
it's
and
just like somehow
Yeah.
it's just a 50-50 ball.
I don't know
no
if you
matter
did your lock of the week, but I did mine.
what. I did not do my lock of the week.
My lock of the week for Thursday Night Football. First off, you got Kyron Williams over half a touchdown. Kyron Williams is a touchdown machine.
You know he's like 3rd of all time consecutive games with touchdowns.
Yeah, David Montgomery was also getting there, and then he didn't score one against the Vikings. But I think Kyron Williams does. Because, Jameer Gibbs still got 2 touchdowns against us. David Montgomery was dealing with injuries. Next up, I have Aaron Jones over 19.5 receiving yards.
Ooh, that's
a
great one.
I think we're going to be throwing the ball a lot against the Rams. I don't think their passing defense is
And Sam
anything
Darnold's
special.
great about getting his checkdowns.
Sam Darnold is great about hitting his check down, and Aaron Jones is a very great receiving back. And then the last leg, I have Stafford over half an interception. We love turning over quarterbacks. We didn't turn over Jared Goff, but Jared Goff has been playing pretty damn perfect football. Isn't it crazy that Stafford got traded to the Rams for first-round picks and Jared Goff, and we live in a world where Jared Goff is outperforming him now? That is insane. But
the Rams still won the trade.
as of now, but I think long-term the Lions will end up winning the trade. I think
You think Jared Goff wins the Lions the Super Bowl?
I think they might win it this year.
Dude,
They are so
it
good.
depends. If they play Mahomes, there's no way.
They are so good.
They are so good. But I think Jared Goff has only thrown 2 picks this year, and
I
I think they were both against the Bucs.
I think they could beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl.
They are damn good.
Especially, like I said, Mahomes is not going to play in the playoffs how he is now. But let's just imagine Mahomes is playing sketchy in the playoffs like he is right now.
Lions is the one team you can't do that against.
You can't, because they have a good defense. They will turn over Patrick Mahomes, and you're not going to be able to stop their defense, stop their offense like you have everybody else, because they have Jameer Gibbs and David Montgomery who are going to run the ball all over you, and then they can throw pretty much wherever they want. Did you see Jameson Williams is suspended for 2 games for taking steroids?
Nice.
That's crazy.
It probably wasn't steroids.
They literally said performance enhancing.
Performance enhancing the drugs category in it, you'd be shocked. Like Josh Gordon, when he used to get suspended all the time, it was from performance enhancing drugs for weed.
Yeah, but they don't care about weed anymore in the NFL.
They still drug test randomly. So
Yeah,
it
but
could have
they
been a
don't
random
drug test for weed though. I don't
I think they do. I think they still
But
do.
even if it was weed, they wouldn't have said performance enhancing drugs.
They might have.
Not anymore.
I want to look. I'm curious because they do. There are a weird drugs under that category.
I guarantee you, they don't suspend players for weed anymore, because
He probably
there's
was
just no
taking
reason to.
something in his butt. Wait, pause. Some drug, some steroid shot in his butt.
Yeah, maybe.
Do your homework. Do your homework on getting stuff in the butt.
Okay.
Man, NFL is officially halfway over. It's week 8.
Damn.
How depressing is that?
That's sad.
That is sad.
If you had to guess AFC and NFC championships right now for the season, what would you say?
Man, it's hard. The Buccaneers. Obviously, I would have said Buccaneers, and I still want to say Buccaneers, but I'm not going to. I'm not saying, this isn't me saying I think we're fucked. We have no chance of making it, because I still think we have a great chance. I'm just not going to say Bucks for unbiased purposes.
Yeah.
The Lions look damn good. The Lions look damn good. If they get that first round bye, they're absolutely in the NFC Championship.
I think even without it, they're in the NFC Championship.
Honestly,
I think we'll see 2 NFC North teams in the NFC Championship this year.
this is what I think might happen. The Lions are going to get the first seed, and y'all are going to be the second best team in football.
We'll be either 5 or 6.
Well, you're going to have to play the worst NFC team.
the
round
NFC.
one.
We'll probably play either the Falcons or the Bucks.
And I think if y'all play the Falcons, y'all win that, and then round 2, I think y'all lose to like the 49ers.
I could see that.
So I think 49ers Lions is my 2. I think they rematch again. I think Brock Purdy wins it again. AFC, dude, it's probably gonna be
Mahomes and Lamar.
Mahomes and Lamar again.
Probably, dude. Or I don't know. CJ Stroud.
See,
might
I was
make it this year.
honestly, it's gonna be Texans Chiefs.
So I'm gonna have to go with Lions, and I think it will be 2 teams from the NFC North. It's just hard to decide right now because you can't know who would play who. Like, because there's obviously a situation where the Lions and the Packers could potentially play before the NFC Championship.
Yeah.
So I don't really know who's gonna. I think the Lions will be it, and they'll be playing either the Packers or the Vikings in the NFC Championship. And I think the Lions go to the Super Bowl, and then in the AFC Championship, it's just the Chiefs and somebody else, probably the Ravens. Dude, Lamar is playing out of his mind right now, and I think he's struggled
Stroud
in the
could
playoffs before.
I think Stroud could take down Lamar in the playoffs.
I don't know. We saw it last year. They took the Texans pretty easily. I think they would take them again.
Yeah, dude. I mean, the Ravens are legit.
Actually, I don't know because the Ravens' defense just hasn't been that good this year. Like, it's been the offense, but Lamar's so good. Like, I don't know who I would pick in that game, but I think we pretty much agree for the most part how things might go. But I do think the Lions will be in the Super Bowl this year.
Honestly, the Steelers are gonna make a run. I could see it.
Oh, they'll definitely make a run.
The Steelers could be in the
I don't
AFC
think they make a
Championship.
run. I think they'll win a wild card round game, probably losing the divisional to like Patrick Mahomes. You know, like
Yeah.
you have to play Mahomes. What are you gonna do?
They're on pace to win their division right now.
The Ravens will definitely win the division, though.
If anybody can stop that Ravens offense, it's absolutely the Steelers.
I mean, I agree, but the Ravens will win that division because the Ravens are not going to lose regular. Like they did at the beginning of the season. At this point, they're not going to lose any regular season games that they should win. I think the games they should win, they will win, and I think the Steelers are very capable of losing games they should win.
So I think you obviously think the NFC North's the best division of football right now, correct?
100%.
And then is the second AFC North?
Probably the NFC. Yeah, AFC
Is
North.
With the worst division, AFC South? I think easily.
Yeah, that's crazy. I thought they were going to be pretty good going into this
If
season.
not, it's the NFC South because the Saints and Panthers are just so bad.
Yeah, I'd say the AFC South was worst.
Because the Titans suck. The Jaguars are pretty bad this year. The Colts are awful.
Yeah, the NFC West is pretty good too. Cardinals are looking pretty good. Seahawks are looking pretty good. It's crazy that the Niners aren't the best team in that division right now.
They're still going to win it. They'll be fine.
They're still going to win it, but I'm saying like that division's pretty competitive right now.
Great. You want to get into finish off on the opening kickoff power rankings of the week?
Oh, I forgot we still had that. Yeah, let's go ahead.
Do you have it written down?
I wrote it in yours. I was really trying to find shit to talk about because I thought we were like out. It's the one box down.
All right, guys. Here's our power rankings of the week. I'll talk about it. Just kind of say what you have to say. At number 32, we got the Panthers.
Yeah, the Panthers are ass. We don't even have to say anything else. Just go ahead.
Number 31, we got the Browns.
Browns are also ass, and now you don't have Deshaun Watson. You're even more ass.
30, we got the Titans.
Titans are ass. Dude, we didn't even get to watch Will Levis last week. That's the worst part. Like, the Titans were already ass, but at least it was fun to watch Will Levis.
The play where he threw the pick and he immediately ran and tackled the guy
Yeah.
and then got a fumble was one of the funniest things of all time.
But, like, when Mason Rudolph's playing, like, you just don't get the memes, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it was sad not getting our Lord and Savior, getting our Savior, Will Levis. But Mason Rudolph looks pretty good. I think Mason Rudolph is better than Will Levis, if I'm being honest. Like, easily. Mason Rudolph helped the Steelers make the playoffs last year. Let's not forget that. But, yeah, Titans
At number
are ass.
29, we got the Patriots. They've kind of moved up a spot or two. They're going to finish pretty close to that 25 mark.
I think they'll still finish pretty low. They'll probably finish
around the 25 mark.
27 probably would be my guess.
I think Drake May is going to make them a little bit closer in games, and that defense is going to make games close no matter what.
Their defense hasn't been impressive to me recently.
Only game was that last Jaguars game. Every other game, they've been really good.
Yeah, but they just don't have, like, they haven't played many good teams. And, like, the only good team they've played that their defense has looked good is the Bengals, but that was week 1.
Yeah. Then following that, we have the Raiders. The Raiders are probably going to finish even lower. The Raiders are bad.
Yeah, we might have them a little high. Hey, can't wait to watch my king Desmond Ritter. Just got signed off the Cardinals practice squad. Yeah, I think he's gonna be better than Gardner Minshew. Who knows
I
if
think
he's
they
gonna play
signed
this
him
week,
for
but
backup purposes because Aiden O'Connell broke his
I
throwing
hope they
thumb.
play him. I hope they.
No,
play
I think
him.
it's backup purposes
It
because
probably
Aiden
is.
O'Connell broke his throwing thumb. He's
But
out for
here's
the
the
season
thing.
probably.
Gardner Minshew is so ass that at some point they're gonna be
Desmond
like,
Ritter's gonna
"Damn,
get
this guy
shot.
sucks. Let's put somebody else in."
Number 27, the team that will finish in the top 20, the Dolphins. They're going to be fine.
Yeah, Tua's about to be back. I'm excited. I don't think. I mean, top 20. I do think they'll finish in. I don't think they're gonna.
If Tua comes back and has a 300-yard, 3-touchdown, no-pick game, are you like, fuck? And they blow out this team they're playing.
they're playing the Cardinals, so no.
So, no. But, like, if Tua, I think I'm a little higher on Tua. I still don't think Tua is top 10. Absolutely.
Remember when you said he was better than Jared Goff?
All right, shut up. Number 26, we got the Giants.
Yeah, I think they're
Bad.
gonna finish lower.
Definitely going to finish lower. 25, we got the Saints. The magic potion wear off.
The
Do your
magic
homework.
potion did run out. I remember when we first did power rankings, you had them at like 2. Like, that's insane.
They were so good those first 2 weeks.
I know, and I guess people just figured them out. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
crazy.
Number 24, we got the Colts. The worst 3-win team in the NFL. Anthony Richardson sucks. I hate to say it.
Yeah, I think he could be good. He still needs to learn a little bit more.
If
but
Anthony Richardson got drafted to the Panthers, it'd be the exact same Bryce Young situation, I think.
I might have to agree with that one. But if it's CJ Stroud that gets drafted to the Panthers, I think it's not the same.
CJ Stroud's really good.
CJ Stroud is him.
At 23, we got the Jaguars. They're going to be fine.
No, they're not.
They're going to finish.
No, they're not. You
No,
would
hold on.
say this
I think
every
they're
week.
going to finish 7-10 or 8-9.
My prediction before the season was that they finished 7-10, but that's not good. That's bad.
But for starting 1-5, that's not terrible. Next up, we got the Rams. They're getting Cooper Kupp back. Puka Nakua's gonna be back in a few weeks.
But they're still going to lose to Minnesota this week, so
I wouldn't
they're
be
still not
shocked
going to get
if
to move up.
I wouldn't be shocked if the Rams win 7 in a row and get a wild card spot.
Well, they're not going to be able to win this week because they have to play Minnesota.
Number 21, we got the Jets.
Dude, the Jets are so bad. I actually hate the Jets. Like, I used to love Aaron Rodgers, bro. Like, I hate the Jets so much, I can't even love Aaron Rodgers anymore. I hate the Jets so much.
At number 20, crazy, Cowboys.
Cowboys are ass.
They're not gonna make the playoffs this year.
They're going to find a way to make the playoffs.
I don't know. The NFC's way better this year than it was last
It is,
year.
but I don't think the Bears will keep playing.
They have to win their division. I think the Cowboys absolutely have to win their division to make the playoffs.
I don't think so. I think
I
three
think-
teams make it out of the North, but then only one's going to make it out of the South, or 2 will probably make it out of the West. You're right. They do probably have to win the division. But they're the Cowboys. Like, I just think they're going to find a way to make the playoffs.
I wouldn't be
just so
shocked
they
if they
can
beat
lose,
the 49ers this
just so
week.
they can lose the playoff.
Number
game.
19, we got the Falcons. You swag. You surf. You swag.
Dude, they
Yes, sir.
played so bad against the Seahawks. Like I know every quarterback is capable of having a bad game every now and then, but when Kirk has a bad game, it is like the worst football you've ever seen. Like,
Yeah.
like how do you go from throwing 500 yards and like just balling out against the Bucks? The Seahawks do have a pretty good secondary, and the Bucks defense is ass. But like playing that bad, like that, it was
Yeah,
really.
it was-
There's no excuses. Like,
Number 18, we got the Cardinals.
yeah, I had them way lower, but they beat the Chargers, who I originally had way higher. So I respect the win. I still think they're gonna finish 8 wins max, probably 7. But I mean,
I think the Cardinals, they might finish all right. I honestly have no clue. It's halfway through the season, so anything could happen. Number 17, we got the Broncos. Broncos country.
let's ride.
Dude,
I think they finished probably about 20. I don't think they're in the playoffs or anything this season.
they're going to be the first team out of the playoffs, I think.
What do you mean?
They're going to finish the 8th seed in the AFC.
Oh, okay. I could see it maybe.
Yeah.
There's probably a couple teams that I could also see. I don't know. I don't hate that.
At number 16, we got the Chargers.
Yeah, I had them way. If they beat the Cardinals, they're probably like 11 or 12. But I had the Cardinals low, and you lost to them. I do think the Chargers still deserve to be above the Cardinals, even though they lost. But dude, they need some weapons on offense. Honestly, like,
Yeah,
that's-
like it's bad right now.
They'd be a
They're in a
good
rebuild
team.
state. They're in a rebuild state.
I don't think so. I think they're a team that could trade for like T Higgins or somebody like that.
Make a run.
Dude, if they trade for T Higgins, they might be in the playoffs and win a couple games.
I mean, if you get Joe Burrow and Jim Harbaugh in the playoffs together, like they're gonna get close to making a
Justin
run.
Herbert,
Who'd I say?
Joe Burrow.
That's so
Probably
funny.
because I said T Higgins.
Number 15, we got the 49ers.
That's just so weird to
What
say.
do you think? Do you think 49ers fans are panicked right now?
Fans, yes. I think ball knowers are not worried. You know,
Yeah, like I'm not worried for him. Brock Purdy.
Because the thing is, they don't even need to be the 1, 2, or 3 seed in the playoffs. They
Uh-huh.
just need to make the playoffs, and they will.
Isn't it crazy? Brock Purdy's like,
He's playing like shit.
but he's not the problem right now.
He played like shit against the Chiefs.
Yeah, but so did Mahomes.
Yeah, but
Those
we've
teams-
acknowledged that Mahomes been playing bad.
Yeah, but
Brock Purdy
He's not the problem.
Brock Purdy when he only has 2. Brock Purdy when he only has 2 All Pros instead of 10. Sorry,
Brandon Ayuk sucks.
Brock Purdy might be a game manager.
I don't think so.
I've never said it, but he might be because
I know.
every time he doesn't have all his weapons in the offense, he sucks.
I don't know. I don't want to even.
I like Brock Purdy. He's top 10 probably, but if he keeps playing like this, he won't be anymore in my opinion.
Yeah, and you're gonna lose if you don't. If the 49ers don't make the playoffs, Brock Purdy could not have a job next year. Like that's how unforgiving the 49ers could be.
Well, he would have a job, just not for
On
the
the
Niners.
49ers.
But no, they would keep him. But sorry, go ahead.
Number 14, we got the Bengals.
Yeah.
Another
What are they
team
now?
gonna be
Like, what are they?
fine.
3 and 4 now?
1, 2 in a row.
Yeah, they always start off shit and fool everybody.
They were 0 4. They've won 3 in a row.
Yeah, that's crazy. And the win against the Browns just still didn't impress me. But that's a division win, so
And the Browns
I'll let
own
that
Joe
slide.
Burrow.
No, yeah, I'll let that one slide because division wins, especially in the North, are always weird. But like, especially like the fact that the win over the Giants also didn't impress me. They're playing the Eagles soon. I think we both picked the Bengals. They play the Eagles this week. If they have an impressive win, I think that I'll finally be like bought
Yep.
in, and they could.
Number
probably be
13, a
top
team
10.
I'm a little higher on than you is the Eagles.
Yeah, the win
The
over
Eagles
the
will-
Giants.
I think the Eagles are going to end up winning the division.
Probably, but the win over the Giants, that's just not impressive to me. Like, beating the Giants 28-3, Saquon literally did everything for you, like, but you're not going to be able to do that every game against competent NFL teams that are actually going to put up points.
Saquon Barkley's so good.
He is so good, but
He's so good.
they don't play like that whenever they play
but
good teams.
I don't think they use him enough. I think they need to address Saquon Barkley is the best player on the team.
Well, I do think they could use him more, but he's also had injury problems in the past.
so they're a little
And you have
hesitant.
A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. Like, I think they need to start using A.J. Brown more now that he's back.
Yeah.
A.J. Brown is honestly one of the best receivers in the league.
He's
Like,
probably the most slept on receiver.
I don't know. People do really like him. I think
But people don't put him top 5 sometimes, which is crazy.
if you don't put him top 5, watch football. That's all I got to say.
Number 12, we got the Seahawks.
Yeah, dude, the Seahawks were looking a little overrated for a second, but that win
You know,
over.
Geno Smith is like breaking some really weird records.
You know, he's throwing like 36 passing attempts like every single game.
He has the most passing attempts by an NFL quarterback since like 2020 Patriots Brady.
Honestly, I thought they were frauds after starting off 3-0. Do I still think they're like a crazy good team? No, but we have them at number 12 here. We had the Falcons pretty high. You managed to destroy them. You're winning a very competitive division at the moment, so I think they deserve a little bit of props. And honestly, they're another team that could get a wild card spot this year. The NFC is competitive this season.
Yep. Number 11, the Bears.
Damn, that is insane.
They're 4-2, and their defense.
They're 4-2, and they're last in their division. That is insane. You know, if the NFL season ended right now, all 4 teams from the NFC North would make the playoffs.
And no other team, unless if you win your division, make it. Crazy.
Exactly. That's insane. Caleb's kind of finding his groove. I think
that
I really want
defense
to
is
watch him.
insane.
Their defense is so good.
And
Their
Jawan
defense
Pritzker is finally coming back. Their safety.
If they have a slightly worse defense, they have like 2 or 3 wins right now.
Yeah.
But I think I'm ready for them to play another good. Like, I'm ready for them to play the Vikings. I want to see what Caleb Williams can do against a very good defense and not just let his defense win the game. Obviously, he's winning the game against these bad defenses, but I'm saying against a very good defense, I want to see if he can continue to put up numbers or if it's going to go back to what we saw at the beginning of the season.
At number 10, we got the Buccaneers. With these injuries, who knows what's going to turn out?
They're probably going to go down a little bit. I think Baker is capable of winning games, but it just sucks. This is the worst time for this to happen. Like, y'all have a Falcons divisional game, which is going to be hard. Then you'll play the Niners, and then you'll play the Chiefs. Like,
Worst time for it to happen. I agree.
terrible time.
Baker, I still believe in you. See, Tampa believes in you. Let's get it. Number 9, we got the Steelers.
Yeah.
Even better with Russell Wilson.
Dude,
Who would have guessed?
Oh, my goodness, dude. Russ balled out.
Mr. Unlimited.
And I knew him and George Pickens would have a crazy connection. I think George Pickens is going to have a type of breakout that we saw Cortland Sutton have last year with Russell Wilson, especially if, Russ stays a starter, which as of right now looks like the case. I think George Pickens might be a sleeper in your fantasy leagues, might be a sleeper.
And if anything happens to your good quarterback, you got a guy who's going to come in there and win you a game as well.
I completely agree.
Number 8, we got the Packers. Probably the highest climb.
Yeah,
They beat
we had them low for a
a
while.
really, really impressive Texans team.
5 wins, 5-2. That's insane. And they had a backup quarterback for a little bit and still won 2 games. So they're pretty good. Dude, Josh Jacobs is playing some very good football right now. Like, he was the reason they won that game.
Yeah,
He was
absolutely.
the sole reason they won that game.
Number 17, we got the Commanders. I think they probably will finish out of the top 10, but they're winning
Yep.
games right now. And Jaden Daniels has aura.
Yeah, I think they probably finished with 9 wins at the end of the season. I think they got hot a little too early. I think Jaden Daniels will start making some mistakes, but I think they're a very good team. I do think
I could see
there
Jaden
are-
Daniels
there are
could make an
20
NFC championship.
there are
pretty
like,
soon.
dude, there's like 10 teams in the NFC that I could see making the playoffs. Like, it is so hard. The Commanders are one of them, but I just don't know. Like, it's just so hard to
They
tell.
need to win their division. They
Yeah.
need to keep ahead. They're winning their division right now. They need to keep
I think
that
they're
going.
one that could get a wild card spot. They're one that could maybe get it.
Yeah. Number 6, we got the Texans.
Yeah.
I think they're easily playoff contenders. Like, they're easily going to make their playoffs. Like, their division sucks
Yeah,
so bad.
and whenever they get Nico Collins back, like, they're doing this without one of the best receivers in the league. Joe Mixon is playing out of his mind. Like, they lead the league in pressures, I'm pretty sure. Joe Mixon is insane. If he didn't get injured, he'd probably be leading the league in rushing yards. Stephon Diggs, a little bit washed. It's okay. Tank Dell, not really doing much. I do think they need Nico Collins back.
They need Nico Collins
But
back.
I think they're going to continue to win games until he's back, and they'll be just fine going into the playoffs.
Number 5, we got the Bills.
Who did they play last week? Oh, they played the Titans. So it was just hard to. And they, like, the first quarter, they were not playing good against Titans.
But I
like, at
think
all.
them playing bad in the first quarter, then still winning that game really good shows them, like,
Yeah,
shows everybody.
the Bills. Bills are one of those teams. If you have Josh Allen, you're going to be in the playoffs. I really like the Amari Cooper trade, and he got a touchdown his first week there. Shout out to Amari Cooper.
Shout out Keon Coleman.
I think Amari Cooper, for telling him his route, I think Amari Cooper is the perfect fit for Buffalo. He's a good route runner who's going to be open and is a number 1 that Josh Allen can trust, but he's not this super egotistical guy who's going to cry if he's not getting 10 targets a game. I think he's absolutely perfect for Buffalo.
He wants to win a ring, I bet.
Yeah, I think he's perfect for Buffalo, and I think
Isn't it crazy?
he's gonna have a good season.
The Cowboys traded him for a 5th. So the Browns got Amari Cooper for a 5th. And then
what did they trade him for? I don't even remember.
literally 5th. The Cowboys got a 5th round pick from Amari Cooper. Then he gets traded for like what, a 4th?
No, that's what I'm saying. I don't know what he got traded for now. I
think it was
forgot.
like a 4th.
It might have been a 4th.
Bro, I would trade Amari Cooper for a 4th any day of the week.
You would
Come on.
trade him for a 4th, or you would trade a 4th?
Trade a 4th
for
for him any day of the week.
Yeah, especially if I'm the Bills. Like, that's
Yeah.
perfect.
Number 4, we got the Ravens. Man, you do not want your team playing against them. Trust me.
Holy shit,
They're kind of dirty.
They are so good.
I think there might be a little bit of dirty team too.
I don't think so. The Chris Godwin injury was not dirty at all, and neither was the Mike Evans injury. They
Yeah.
were just unfortunate. Like, it was just football injuries. They really had nothing to do.
true.
There was that one play where I think it was Kate Otten got
Yeah.
absolutely murdered by Kyle Hamilton on a defensive receiver while the ball was uncatchable. That should have been a flag.
Helmet to helmet too.
But even if that flag's thrown, I still think I'll lose the game. So.
Oh yeah, I don't think one.
But
flag.
that's the one thing I could give you, that them being dirty. But the injuries didn't come from dirty.
Number
football.
3, we got the Vikings.
Yeah, it would have been so nice to say number 1 again, dude. Oh, but the Lions are just better than us. I'm willing to admit it. The Lions are better than us, and we were able to only lose the game by 2 points. I will take it, and I'm content with being at number 3 because I thought we were going to get 5, maybe 6 wins this year. So
And I didn't. Number 2, we got the Lions. Do your homework.
I can see the Lions finishing number 1. I really do.
I
I
can see
did.
them too.
As of right now, I think the Lions win the Super Bowl. As of right
And
now.
guess what? The Lions win the Super Bowl with 1 loss, and we're the 1 loss. I'll take that, dude. I'll take that.
You'll take that.
I'll take that. Hey, number 1 though, we got the Chiefs, and they're not playing their best football, and they're undefeated.
You know me, I've never been a hater of like good teams or a hater of Mahomes because I love witnessing greatness. But the Chiefs are starting to piss me off because I'm not even witnessing greatness. I'm watching a team play bad and still win, and I'm starting to get annoyed.
I think they're playing just good enough.
But I don't want to. You don't deserve
Yeah.
to be undefeated if you're playing just good enough every game. Like the Vikings played
And they have the
100.
hardest schedule in the
The
NFL.
Vikings played 100 times better than the Chiefs did that game, and we got a loss and they got a win. Like that's just my.
But it's crazy. They have the hardest schedule in the NFL.
Yeah, I mean technically that's not how that works. Like they have one of the hardest, but
No, they have the strength of your schedule is dependent on how far
I know,
how you
but
finish.
But
But then you also can't guess
and
how
certain teams are better than certain teams, and
well, like so
and
the
they
Vikings.
get to play the Raiders.
Vikings is considered an easy game last year when they made the schedule.
yeah. And what I'm saying is, they still have to play their division twice a year, so they get to play the Raiders and the Broncos and the Chargers twice a year, compared to like the Bears, who probably have an easy schedule, but they have to play the Vikings, Lions, and the Packers twice a year. You know,
Got you. So yeah, that's this week's episode. Anything else you got to touch on?
Sam Darnold, man. Why'd you have to throw that interception? Why'd you have to not convert the 2-point conversion? Why'd you have to overthrow Justin Jefferson on 3rd down? Literally, if any of those things go our way, we're 6-0 right now. Like, God. And, it's okay. It'll be whatever. It's fine. It's whatever.
You had a good thumbnail post. I was doing my thumbnail post. And with that being said,
this was the opening kickoff. Thank you for watching. Be ready for next week, and also be ready for the Vikings to beat Matt Stafford, and make sure you take Matt Stafford over half an interception if you want to make some free money. You can put the clip of that happening right now, even though this isn't going to be uploaded until before the game, so I don't even know what I'm talking about. I'm just yapping at this point. Let's get out of here.